Welcome back, everyone, to the final regular season Supercoach podcast. Tell you what, it's been a year, and straight off the bat, it's been a fall from grace. I remember celebrating about 5 weeks ago being in the top 1K. I'm now sitting like literally a number of spots away from 5K. It has been a hard slog. So a little bit of a tip of how my week has gone. But hey, we're here now. No head-to-head finals. I wasn't in any of them, so I didn't get a chance to win anything. But here we are. Firstly, before we get stuck into it, shout out to Caxton Street Brewing Company. Got some really exciting things to come from there over the next couple of months, which I'm really excited to share with you guys shortly. Starting with a big finals preview podcast, we will be recording from the venue next Monday. So that'll be out for you guys to enjoy probably on Tuesday at some point. A bit more about that when I know a bit more. Freedom Finance Group as well. Shout out to Con. Shout out to the guys out there that are starting to contact Con as well. There's a number of you out there, so don't be shy. Please make sure you reach out. Let him know that you came from the League of Inches crew, and he'll make sure he helps you out financially. It's a very good time to start getting on top of all your financial needs as well. No Jesse tonight, which is a bit of a shock because he is leading our little battle. We're having a three-way battle, our threesome. He's leading the Golden Inch, so I thought he'd be on here ready to spruik. Something we will get into very shortly as well. He actually won our Div 1 draft competition. So credit to him. Killer end of season. He had the right players at the right time, and he absolutely flew by in that comp. So that was a fantastic win by him. I thought for sure he's very proud of it. He would have been on whether he was crawling, but sickness has got the better of him, unfortunately. But myself and Trav are here. Trav, how's things? And then let us know how you went Supercoach-wise.
Things are well. We're 1 week to go, man. How fun is that? Season's flown by. Round 27 about to start. I'm on the back end of being sick myself. Poor Jesse. I know what flu A is like. So, yeah, the poor fella. But at least he listened to me, got himself a test, and then got straight to the doctor within 72 hours. So he's on the right meds and should be a bit quicker. But then not only is it him, it's his whole family have got the flu, unfortunately. So, yeah, the four of them. Poor thing. He'll be listening to this, and, yeah. I hope he's all good and hope all the family's pretty good. Supercoach-wise, oh, man. Look, I beat you. So, I mean, technically you should be going first, but I'll go anyways. I got 1,314 on the weekend, which is a pretty fair score when I thought about it because I only had 15 players. So what could have been if I had trades and planned that way, and I can't wait till we do our end-of-season review because I've got a few things I want to say. But, yeah, unfortunately, I dropped another 1,199, and I'm now at rank 4,324. Not much to say, really, other than the fact that I had 15 players and then add the extra 6 points that Tristan De Silva, the 650K hooker that Para is so happy to have.
Talon De Silva. If you're going to bag him, get his name right.
What did I say?
Tristan.
Did I say Tristan? Oh, well. Yeah, well, that's how much he sucks. Yeah. So in that 15 with my score, I had a 6 from De Silva. So, yeah, 1,314 is not too bad in the grand scheme of things when you look at that way.
Firstly, I just want to say, because you and Jesse go at me all the time with stuff that you've said and things like that. I remember very vividly when you guys were both tossing up grabbing talent into your teams, I actually said I wouldn't be doing it. They're going to be splitting the roles from all the information I've been told. And you still went ahead. It worked for you cash-wise. So, hey, it's set you up with other moves. It can't be all that bad. You can't have superstars in every single position.
Well, I can because I've got Farnworth, Carraz, and Garrick sitting on the bench as my centers. I've got Tarpany sitting in the front row forward. I've got Harry Grant sitting in the hooker spot, and this week I've got Drinkwater sitting in the full back. So yes, I can actually. It just hasn't. I've just not accounted for suspensions.
Well, unfortunately, I had a bit of a poor Yeah, Dad. Week once again, 1,303 points for me. Just have some absolute just guys that are just like really dragging us down at the moment on a weekly basis. And really wish I had some trades up my sleeve, but I don't. We spoke about this a little bit and we'll speak about it in a few weeks' time. But yeah, it's just been one of those times I've literally just been powerless with what I can do. There's been things I'd love to do to the team, but I just haven't been able to. Shot me down to 4,942 in the ranks as well, so not great. And it's one of the first times I've actually noticed my total score has been basically top 1% for like 10 weeks or something now. Down to the top 3%. So I am slowly slipping out of that top echelon of players. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully we keep giving you good advice though, and you just haven't followed our lead because yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, especially for myself personally. But hey, there is a slight little gap opening up with our little competition. Jesse is out in front, but I think, Trav, you're saying off air is about 70 points from you and then about 140, 150 to me. So it's still technically, everyone's still technically in it. It's going to be some big captaincy players, I think, that we'll speak about down the track of this podcast. But I think we'll both have to probably make some plays to get and to grab Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse got 1,379, so he scored another 65 more than me. So he pushed that lead out because it was only like 6 points going into last week. He's got 32,933. He's actually got a 71-point lead on me now. He dropped, unfortunately, 644 spots to 3,720, and I can categorically tell you that our man Jesse's pissed that he's not in the top 1K and not going to get 1K because he's not used to that. He's used to 14th finishes and top 500 I think it was last year. So he's furious. But oh well, he'll look like he'll more than likely get one trophy this week.
Yeah, he isn't happy. He definitely isn't happy. So, look, shout out to our overall comp. This is into their last week, obviously, for this one. And there is plenty to play for. It's heated up. It's gotten very close. The last week or so has really brought everyone together. So really excited to watch how this unfolds this week. A new leader this week. So shout out to Nat Lammy's stiff arm. Now 34,388. And thank you to Pack Lords, obviously, for the sponsorship. Joel, shout out to the name, brother. Great name. Reach out to the page to get your little merch pack, plus the $10 break credit from Pack Lords. The Rum Runners, so 1,766, top scored in our group by 1 point. So that was pretty incredible. But yeah, that's huge. He jumped 5,300 spots into 7,800. That's a huge jump and just shows this time of year, if you can get some things right, there is some huge moves to make and some massive leaps to happen as well. So there's some pretty incredible scores, and I'm really keen to see this weekend unfold. And I'll be keeping an eye on this overall league because it's very, very tight.
How is the league though? We've got three in the top 15 in our overall there. Lammy's stiff arm is 10th. He just rose 4 spots with a 1,597. To 14th is actually 40 points difference. So it's a few points. So Lammy's in 10th with 3,4388, and Kev McAllister, whose name is James, is 14th with 34,348. So it's exactly 40 points difference between 4 ranks in the top 15. So yeah, she's a tight one up there. It's good luck to them all, and hopefully we can help you out a little bit today, and we can see one of you guys being a winner or a top 10 at least.
Shout out to a few of our competitions as well has come to an end in our head-to-head side of things. Shout out to our regular head-to-head comp winners. So we've did 2 free comps this year. We captured at that. So Rock the Boat, coached by Steve, won the first comp, and free comp 2, Team Awesome, coached by Sam. We did a couple of cash comps as well. 2 of those cut it off. Both comps were just overloaded. We had people asking us to start more comps. We had to stop it. Cash comp 1, Pork Shop Pete's, coached by Colin, and Cash comp 2, shortballs.com. Angus, he's in our draft community as well, so that was a great win by him. He's cleaned us up over the last few weeks with the money side of things. So well done to Angus. He's having a great little time there. We also held, second year in a row, our Creator Cup So that features a lot of the other creators out there from the Supercoach point of view, plenty of the big ones and things like that. And that was taken out by a guy who's absolutely on fire at the moment. I think everyone's been listening to his podcast and will be not surprised at all when I read this name out. But the Kuma Stallions, shout out to Supercoach Playbook, coached by Mr. Tim Williams himself, took that out this year. So Jesse won it last year, and then Tim's got it this year. So a couple of the big dogs in the Supercoach world. And shout out to Tim. He had a fantastic year so far, and he has been absolutely sprinting home. Some of the scores he's pulling at the moment is absolutely out of this world. So well done to him. Lastly, to our draft, Trav, I'll go over to you for this one because you have been running it. Just to quickly, it has actually been a phenomenal year. The chat's been absolutely sensational. Set up just to be a draft chat. Just how much footy heads we have. It's just unfolded into this league chat. It's been absolutely awesome. It's like a family. And what I mean by that is, and not to bore too many people out there, but literally it's like a fight, we'll have arguments and stuff. It'll be heated at times. And then afterwards you're like, yeah, I love you, brother. It's all good. It's all sweet. And I've got a couple of the girls in there as well. They come in, just calm it down, all these sort of things. So it's a really good sort of family vibe. It's been an awesome year. There's been some serious draft heads in there. There's been some serious coaches. It's made all the divisions. They've been on fire. We have had 60 people all up, 5 divisions of 12, and through from 1 to 12 in every single division. They've always been on the waivers. They've been playing right till the end because there's a promotion relegation. It's been fantastic, Trav.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky. I've been in a few sort of different sports comps that have had fantasy sports comps in NBA, NFL that have had relegation promotion and things. And, there's always someone that sort of drops away or doesn't really care or whatever. And it kind of wrecks the leagues because, if you're not the lucky one that gets to play them in the last part of the season, it becomes a win that someone else gets that helps. And that becomes annoying, especially when you put money into it. And whilst we're not putting, higher roller money into these leagues, there is a decent amount of money at the end of it. But to be fair, it's made my job pretty easy because I'm not in all the leagues. I've had to have other people give me their login code so that I can get through them and let trades in and talk to people about what they're doing and stuff. And literally, I haven't really had to do much this year because they have been really engaged and on the wires. And, the funny thing about draft is you can be the worst point scorer in the competition and still make the finals. It's just the way it is. You think of the way that our cup was run, Marcel, who won it, was at the time of winning that was the worst point scoring in our league, and I was the number one, and he beat me by 300 points. It's just the way it is and the way draft works, right? So it's unforgiving and can be anything in any given week, and if you're lucky enough, then it's just the way it is. But you're right. They're a great league. They're a great bunch of people. Literally every one of those 60 people get through and have messaged at least a handful of times. I go to class, I teach for an hour, I come back and I've missed 20 odd messages that people have sent through. It's just nonstop. It's fantastic. There's only one fool in the group, and that's Adam who's a Panthers fan, but we all expect that. But he'll love that I said that. And then it's brilliant, man. And we want to make it the best competition in the land.
Yeah, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the numbers, but I already believe it's one of the largest draft comps in basically this NRL Supercoach, which is awesome. It's only our second year doing it, probably our first real year doing it with all these divisions. So really, you could almost say it's year one. So to be that already, it's actually insane. So we'll have some chats off air over the next couple of months. We'll sort out what's going to happen. See where everyone's at. So far, not one person has said they want to leave, so that's awesome to see. But we know there was a number of you that wanted in, but we'll just have to have a chat. We'll have to work some things out, see what we can do. But just keep that in your notes to go, you know what, I want to get into that League of Inches draft, because I promise you now, guys, will get bigger and better every year as we go. And like Trav said, we feature the cup. We do everything. So shout out to the coaches that won it. So Div 1 was Watch Your Farnworth, which was Jesse. Div 2, Eyes Up Footy, which was Jake. Div 3, Scotty Doesn't Know, which was Scott. Div 4, What To'o Was, that's Jared, and then Div 5. It's To'o, I believe, is Bill. I'm not. I
Yeah, Bill.
think. Yeah,
Bill.
it is. That's right. So, they all get obviously promoted. There's a couple of relegated. Everyone had a ball, so that was awesome to see. And really, a shout out to everyone there that made it what it was. So that was really, really cool. Well, let's get into some Supercoach chat. Let's go to the TLT discussion. So there was a fair bit happening this week, but there wasn't that much happening in terms of a Supercoach impacting round that we already probably knew about, and we already sort of prepared for things like that. So not that me or you could prepare stuff, we just roll with whatever punches we were given to the head this week. But there's been a number of restings and things like that, but like you sort of pointed out, rightly so, a lot of them aren't really high owned and things like that as well. So let's go through them. We'll go through them pretty quickly. This episode should be pretty quick as well. And we don't have Jesse, so he won't be jabbering on for 40 minutes every point, which will be awesome. So we will get through it quite well. So straight off the bat, Shibasaki's obviously dropped discipline reasons. Remember reading the first few comments that came out about this, and everyone was blowing up, where's Shiba? And then we've since heard about what's actually happened. So we'll talk about this one more tomorrow night on the Wednesday night show. So if you want to hear our thoughts about that from the NRL point of view, tune in there. I'm more sort of for just quickly what the Broncos have done here. I think it's setting the standard, which is great, especially this time of year. But for those that did have Shiba or have kept him, that's obviously just a number that you may have thought, yeah, that's perfect. We've got this number for this week. You don't have. I'll do the Storm one as well quickly before I shout to you, Trav. Craig Bellamy isn't effing around, basically. He has named pretty much everyone to come back that he basically possibly can. So Hughes is back. He's given him that game that he has mentioned for a couple of weeks now he wanted to do. Stefano has been rested, though, and Bloor is out injured. I believe that injury is out for the year as well. I think it's a pretty serious one.
1 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
I've got the whisper of 1 to 3 weeks. I think we'd be very lucky if we get him back in finals. So this is 1 week. We'd be very lucky if we get him for the first. It'll be very nice if we win the first week through. More like chance that we could get him for the prelim. But yeah, there is a possibility. It's a fractured larynx. It's come out of nowhere. Even the physio sort of said today, it's literally come out of nowhere.
They kept that on the hush, probably more so because everyone's still going on about how embarrassed Craig Bellamy was of that performance. That's helped keep the media away from the actual players. Anything you want to talk about from a Supercoach point of view from that one?
Not really. No one really owns Hughes. Shiba's 2.2% in the top 1%. I think what we'll do today is talk mostly around the top 1% because they're the ones who really care about this weekend. But even then, I was looking before, there's 300 points separating 10th to 50th. So there's a lot of points in between them. But yeah, so we'll focus around that. But yeah, Bloor's not very well owned. Hughes is not. Stefano's not. But Katoa back is huge news. He's very heavily owned. So that helps a lot of us with obviously the Raiders resting and doing some things that we'll talk about. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it.
And obviously, we all know by now, Reece Walsh has drunk some toilet water, so he will be put in a superhuman effort on the weekend. So if you have him, just make him your captain. It's going to obviously be a guarantee to happen.
It's a brand new clean water toilet. Although, isn't it an unwritten law that plumbers christen the toilet?
I've heard that. I couldn't get the image out of I couldn't personally do it. Even if it's brand new, I just can't do it. But
even if I was the one that installed the toilet myself, I still don't think I could do it.
Yeah. I couldn't do it either. But shout out to you, Reese. I've found the funny side of it. Some of those dinosaur media people obviously have them, but hey, they'll try and drag.
Oh, they just saw that it's. They just literally saw that it's Reece Walsh, and here's my opportunity to have a crack at him. That's all it is.
Get some clicks. Cooler out for Manly. That's a big blow for them. He's been absolutely sensational over the last few weeks. Been getting a couple of pretty decent Supercoach scores, if I remember correctly. I haven't kept a huge eye on him because I don't own him, but apart from I think on the weekend he only got a 40, but he got a try in that one. So big blow for me. I'm hookless this weekend. Actually, no, I've got my backup, Riley Smith, but Wade Egan out again for the Warriors. Healy will be starting there. So A big blow out there for anyone who was left with Wade Egan. Trav?
Should never have got Wade Egan in the first place, to be fair.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks.
Yeah, Cooler's a big loss, and he's what is he, 5% owned or 3.5? No, was 4% owned in the top 10%, and the top 1%. It's just taking its time. 3%, so he's not really owned well in the top 1 and 2%. So yeah, not a big news, but Egan is decently owned. I thought Egan's one to have to start the year, and then probably get rid of him around Origin or when he gets his first injury, and then don't bring him back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the lesson to be learned for next year.
I'm not touching Wade Egan ever again. He's going to be on my. I'm going to get a blackboard or something. I'm going to put it up here for next year. He'll be in my never ever again list. Yep, 100%. For the Roosters, they welcome back Sam Walker. He'll obviously make a huge difference. But to be fair, they had a huge second half last week, so I'm interested to see the impact he has against their arch rivals. And Cam Murray has been named on the bench for the Bunnies, so anticipating him to get 60-odd minutes, maybe a little bit less, but obviously not very much impactful on Supercoach point of view, but it may impact those like maybe your Tallis Duncan, things like that, who might have their minutes cut short slightly, but it won't be too much.
I don't reckon they do anything for Tallis Duncan. I reckon he just continues to keep killing it. No, because Kulumatungas is sitting he's in the middle. I reckon they'll put Murray to lock when he comes on. So I don't reckon that's an issue.
Anything else to add?
Yeah, look, I think Murray's probably not a bad choice. I think 60 minutes of him against the Roosters in that bloody volatile situation that they're in, that cauldron that they're in, I think he's a good, massive pod play. I really like it. I also really like the Sam Walker play too. He's been killing it. And the only reason why his average is not as good in the last few weeks is because the weekend that he got knocked out in the first few minutes, so which dropped his score really enormously in his average. This is a big game for Walker. This is a big game for both teams. Like, Rabbitohs want to finish the year. They hate the Roosters, an opportunity to make sure they don't make the finals. Alex Johnson's 3 tries away from his record. This is a massive game. So I think there's going to be lots and lots of offense about to happen on the weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think it's pretty much clearly the game of the round, even though the Rabbitohs are sitting quite low. It doesn't matter whenever these two teams versus each other. Yeah, 100%. For the Panthers, they welcome back all their stars minus To'o and Martin, who have both been carrying some niggles. So I'm not surprised that they've given them the extra week. I legit think that's probably actual injuries there as well. So good to get them just to get that extra little bit. So spewing for those probably To'o owners that did go on him the last couple of weeks. They've missed him for the last 2 weeks now. Martin's obviously not a big Supercoach player. And big news for those that still have him, Yo has been named to start again back in that lock position. So depending on how they're going, though, and I'm pretty interested to see this, Trav, but I'm anticipating if Penrith get out to a pretty decent lead here against the Dragons, that there could be some of their key players get rested just after halftime and just pulled off and gone, you're not going back on, we're going to save you next week. And I'm seeing players like Yo, potentially even Cleary could be those guys that are getting pulled off at around that sort of time.
You think, though? Like, they just rested him last week. I don't know. I reckon they're going to get at least 3/4 of the game. Not a half. And I also think the Dragons, as much as I get the last 2 weeks, the Dragons have had 40 put on them. Like, I get it. But it's also still the Dragons. And they can sort of turn up at any stage like they did against the Warriors and go over there and win. Like, last game of the round, last game of the year, I'm not entirely sure. And whilst Penrith don't necessarily need to win, a win is handy and good winning form is good too. So do they really, like, if the Roosters go and win on Friday night, I think they actually jump above Panthers and move into 8th and move into 7th, and Panthers move down to 8th. So, like, it's where do they really want to finish? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think they care at the moment. I reckon they'll back themselves to beat anyone in that top 8. That's the the vibe that Penrith are giving me at the moment. Next up, for the Titans, a few changes there in the back line, especially. Brimson's been moved to the centre, which makes way for Keeney to start. Plenty out there have been asking this for a while. Shout out to Guru, who I know has been big on this one all year, which has been quite a laugh to listen to. And then there's been a host of other little changes to go check out the actual team list for them. Carter Gordon gets a chance in the centres, which I'm very excited to see how he can finally go. Obviously, had a horrendous run this year with injuries, and good to see him back on the park at the NRL level. And then for the Tigers, we've heard a lot about this kid. He's finally getting his debut, as anticipated now for a couple of weeks. Makassini will be starting on the wing. So I'm personally very keen to get a glimpse of him, see what he can do, see what, like, it's against obviously a pretty easy opposition. I reckon we'll see him get a few bits of attack and things like that. Someone I've got my eye on already for next year. I know it's very early, but hey, when we're playing Supercoach doing content, we're always trying to think ahead, aren't we? So I'm very keen to see what he has to show.
Yeah, doesn't even have a photo, the poor fella in the team list. So, but yeah, he's very highly touted. It's going to be interesting to see. I think, isn't it interesting what the Titans have done? Like, Brian Kelly's been pushed out to the wing. They dropped Francis after a try last week. You know, AJ to the centers, which everyone literally with any type of common sense has been saying do. And I get that he's been at fullback because Keeney's been injured, but now, like, Keeney's not injured, so play him. And they look so much better when Brimson on the weekend. We were at the game when Brimson went to the centres and Keeney came on with about 30-odd minutes to go. They looked way better. I just think that's his spot. That's the spot. Put him there and leave it there. But I actually think this will be a good game. This will be a quietly underrated game.
Yeah, I think it could be another one of those 36-40 scorelines or something like that. It's going to be attacking galore, which I'm very keen to see. And obviously, Titans have still a chance to offload that wooden spoon to the Knights, so they do have plenty to play for there. And Tigers Tigers will be definitely packing their good shoes, their dancing shoes, because no doubt after this game, best behaviour, please, boys. But they're on the Gold Coast. We all know footy players in the Gold Coast. Mad Monday. Look out. Look out. Next up, kick out back for the Bulldogs. Obviously, a huge boost. I know plenty out there I do have kick out, either ran out of trades, things like that. You have kick out, don't you, Trav?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
I went Preston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, last minute you went, which has paid off for you a lot. So he obviously killed it last week as well. That's why you freaking got me. I forgot you had Preston. I actually thought you had kick out, and I was like, oh, that's one of your players. You're out. I forgot about freaking Preston. For the Sharkies, Ramian returns as well. Hiroti makes way there. So any Hiroti or owners, Ramian has come back into that side now to complete their full strength backline. So another sort of underrated game. Keen to see how both teams go, because I think both teams really want to sharpen things up heading into the finals. I don't think that either team would be happy where they're at.
Yeah, and the 40% of people that in the top 1% that own Kickow are very happy that they've brought him back. They had to, like you said, and like we've been saying for a few weeks, like the Bulldogs haven't been playing well. They've had a couple of decent results here and there, but it's on the back of just because they're a decent side. They can't take that form into the final. So this is important that they play and continue to get those relationships together. Kickow's a massive return, huge. Did they name Iro?
Yes.
Yeah, huge. Love that Sharks team as
well.
On
Iro, you got a nice little one here. We'll see what happens with the way the Dogs turn up. I'm actually very shocked in a way that Dogs didn't rest him, but I completely understand it as well, because they haven't quite been there yet and they're still trying to work on some combinations. So I actually applaud Ciraldo for doing what he's done here. They do need a massive 80-minute hit out, I think, just to get some confidence.
They got a decent bench. Man, Tupanua, Curran, and Marnie.
Yeah.
So there'll be a few minute restrictions.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. For the Dolphins now, Herbie owners who have stuck solid with your man, there is some. I'm being told pretty reliably actually that if they are sweating on the Bunnies to cause an upset, because if they do, Herbie will be playing. If they don't, he will not be playing. So you are sweating on Friday night watching a game and hoping that the Bunnies can cause a massive upset. So And then we all know what Herbie's like, mate. Even on one leg, even feeling 60%, he would still go out there and score 80 points just easily. So it's a good matchup as well. Raiders obviously have hosted a massive amount of stars they've rested. So too many to go over. Please just check the lineup like we sort of said with the Raiders last week. Apparently, it's only 5 or 6 restings. There's actually legit 3 or 4 injuries is what some of the media we're talking about tonight at NRL 360. Believe what you want there. But at the same time, they did get the minor premiership. It's the last round. I think it's a bit more acceptable this week. But it's interesting to see from a Supercoach point of view. My second rowers hate it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 10, not 16, right? That's the difference. Strange, Young, Fogarty, Stewart, Tarpany, Papali, Weeks, Sasungi, Starling, Hosking. There you go. We did it really quickly, 3 seconds.
There you go.
Yeah, look, Tarpany is probably my biggest hurt, but that was always going to happen if they locked in the minor premier. I sort of knew that was going to happen. That's why I've got 3 front rowers. So I sort of predicted that. Hudson Young hurts the 2RF spot. That's frustrating, especially with the way the others are going. But the rest of them, you like. I mean, Hosking, he's not really well owned, but that kind of hurts a bit. But the rest of them's not a big issue for Supercoach.
Never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually spewing that I don't have Jed Stewart either. So I've been hit a number of people there. I think I've got 3 Raiders at the moment, and all 3 of them weren't named. So there you go. And lastly, Dylan Brown has been named at 5'8", so he looks like he'll be getting an 80-minute spot to finish his Eels career. So there's no Joe Ash in the side. He's on the extended bench at the moment, so he should be getting an 80-minute stint. So I don't know if anyone out there has him still. They shouldn't, but yeah, you get an 80-minute game out of Dylan Brown.
Yeah, there isn't many, but I know of a couple that messaged me that have had him. But yeah, they just haven't been able to get rid of him, so they just haven't picked him. But yeah, this was my predicted. We'll talk about this tomorrow on the live show. But, at the start of the year, I actually said that game Sunday afternoons, the Spoon Bowl repeat last game of the round, but it's not.
Knights are
fighting for it. Knights are fighting for it, but Eels aren't.
Sucked in. You got one wrong. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not like you. Get everything wrong.
Yeah, I don't get anything. All righty. Let's go trade in and outs. As Trav said, we'll focus on the top 1% this time. So numbers here are extremely low, so bear with us. This is where we're at with Supercoach, guys, but we'll stick through. We'll stick solid for you. So most of these is just very obvious. So I'm just going to quickly run through majority of this. Drinky obviously on the bye, gone. Kraz injured. Dewey injured. Grant still suspended. Out. He's 4th. Now, just put this into perspective with the top 1%. 8 people have traded out Harry Grant at the moment, and he features 4th on this list. So this is where we are at. Reece Walsh is 5th. Now, he's playing against obviously a really strong Melbourne Storm side. So 6 people at the moment are getting off him. Feels a little bit luxury, but at the same, because Trav, the Broncos still have something to play for. They've still got a top 4 spot there. So I don't think this is going to be a complete war. I think a lot of people out there are anticipating the Storm will get an absolute rev up from Bellamy and just snap everything back into almost perfection. But there is also a chance that the Broncos, we've seen their halftime spray, they copped off Madge last week, but there's a good chance that they turn up as well. This could be an absolute blockbusting clash where there could be a few chances. The Storm edges haven't been the greatest we've ever seen in respect to them. So we know what Walsh is like around those edges, and he could still get some attack.
He will still get heaps of attack. The ball's going to be, he's not going to play any different to what he has the last 4 weeks. It makes no sense. I've just pushed it out to the top 10% just to have a look. And there's, he's moved down to 8th with 1% of the top 10% that have traded him out. So yeah, it's surprising, very surprising. I wouldn't be. He's an easy for me. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't own Reece Walsh, and to be fair, that's the difference between where I am and why I haven't moved up, because I had no trades left at the time and was unable to get around Reece Walsh. Those people that did have skyrocketed because they've captained him for 3 weeks in a row and listened. But yeah, I would be putting a VC on Reece Walsh this weekend. I get that the Storm are going to turn up. We're going to come through. But, with Warbrick's coming for his second game. Coates is coming off a rest. Balor's out, and we put Lasata in. Katoa's back. We're gonna turn up and show a bit of energy, but I don't think we're gonna try and play for 80. I think it's just gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, that's 6 people. Reverse trade. I'd just shout that out to you now. Tarpany 6, Young 7, Lucas 8. There's still 3 people out there with Lucas and have decided till the last week that they'll trade him. So shout out to you guys. 1%. This is why they're in the 1%. Look at some of these moves they've made right at the death. So Cooler, Gorn, and then lastly, this is only 2 people. I don't even want to say it really, but he's sitting in 10. Tom Trebojevic. 2 people are trading him out against the Warriors side that has looked very shaky. We just seen Iongi on the weekend, and he can get a couple of tries against this Warriors side who have now lost their main hooker as well. And I think from all the games so far this year, they've played their best whenever Wade Egan has been there, so he'll be a bit of a hole for him. I wouldn't be trading Tom Trebojevic out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be either. Again, he's a warm body that we are all hoping for. I wouldn't go anywhere near trading that one, especially against the Wars. Yeah, and there is a small, slight chance that Manly can still make it, which is almost impossible. But yeah, just to end
it, they need to score points, so that's a good thing for Turbo.
That's exactly right. Just to sort of end the trade outs at the top that you've gone through, I'll just say the top 10% just to go through, because the top 1% has next to no one at the moment. Remember, it's Tuesday night, so it's only 3 hours after TLT. But Drinky is 1,000 trades out. Karaz 285, Grant 52, Dewey 46, Young 32, Cooler 21, Tarpany 17, and Reece Walsh, as we said before, Garrick and Dearden. So all of them are not playing bar Reece Walsh. So they all make sense. They're all good trades. Get a body in, make those trades.
Yep, absolutely. The trade ins, again, I'll go from the 1%. Travel, keep an eye on the 10% in that as well and let you know those stats. But top of the list is a guy we literally just said do not trade out. Tom Trebojevic leads that, 67 people of the top 1%. So I'm all for that on face value. I think what we just sort of said, Trav, is the exact reasons why you would get him in.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer to me. I think he's a good price at $7.58 with who you're trading to, and from. Like, you're going from Drinkwater to him, so it's actually cheaper. So it's an easy trade out. Turbo's going to want to end the year nicely. DC's last game in Manly, more than likely. The Wars. Some of these, I think we underrate the opportunity for players and teams to make a dent into finals aspirating teams. Here's an opportunity. Yeah, that's right. Here's a chance. Here's an opportunity. If I'm not going to make it, I'm going to make your life hell and stuff you around. And so there should be. It's a competitive league, competitive sport. So yeah, teams are not going to die in the arse this weekend just because it's the last game.
They'll want something to celebrate Mad Monday, and that'll be a result and talk about some tries and things like that. Second, another fullback, one of those weeks. Dylan Edwards has a good matchup against the Dragons. So at the moment, 58 people in the top 1%, but that's 21% at the moment. But I'm going to assume that probably will go up a bit more as well. It is a good matchup. So that probably makes a bit of sense as well. At what is he, 824K?
Yep. Yeah, 824. Love that. Another one. Good captain option too, I think. I don't think Dylan Edwards will get rested. He's not one of them that will rest. He'll play the 80.
Yep. At the moment, Dane Laurie's named at 18th man. So yeah, he at this present time, going off what Penrith had named, there won't be any thoughts of resting Dylan Edwards. Talon made third for the West Tigers. 23 people have traded in. Look, I think everyone's been on him now for a couple of weeks and still just gaining momentum, rightly so. That's against the Titans. Their backline has been a bit shaken up, like we've just spoken about. Look, if you don't have him, you're making a big play. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I love it. Still a big pod play. Is scoring well. Plays a good matchup. Still has a lot to prove. Wants to end the year well. To lead him, these games are important to lead into a big preseason for him. Yeah, I love it. The other thing too is there's no one bloody left in the centre wings, to be honest. So go and find a pod play like him.
Yeah, and the big thing I've noticed is the Tigers have really identified him as one of their big go-to sort of players in attack. So I love that he's become this real strike player for him, and he's got a heap of confidence at the moment. And we all know he's had that talent with him, so it's good to see him back to almost his best already. I'm so keen to see him have this preseason, and already I know he's pretty pricey for next year, but we'll talk about this off air in the off season, but. If he can keep that up and the Tigers keep improving, I think a lot of people will be looking at him.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, absolutely. 620K now with a pretty high average. So, he's going to be priced high. There'll be some decent options at centre wing next year.
Yes, there will be. Trey Fuller at the moment's named at fullback. We'll check what happens there when it comes to Farmworth and things like that closer to it. But at the moment, he has been named to play at fullback. He's got 14 people trading him in now at fourth spot. I don't mind it. Obviously, the Canberra a bit depleted. I'd just say cautiously, just keep an eye on obviously the Friday night result, which will give you enough time to make some changes if you need to.
I don't think it makes any difference. They'll play Fuller at fullback, as simple as that. So even if they don't play, as in they're not playing for a finals position, he'll be their fullback. And if Herbie comes back, he'll be the fullback. I think they'll shift around. Hammer won't go to fullback. You have a look at what he did last week. To me, he was the best on ground. He's a superstar. I love him. I think he's just a gun little pocket rocket, and I love those little fullbacks and the damage they're currently doing in the NRL at the moment. He's one of them. It's such a shame that they haven't had him all year.
The next one, I love the balls on some people out there at the moment. It's only 12 of you, but I love the size of your balls at the moment. At 433K, the Keanu Keeney play against the Tigers. Tigers are in a weird spot. They can't make anything happen, and no chance of the wooden spoon and things like that. They're just sitting in this awkward spot. So there is a high chance, like I said, they're natural. They're blokes. They're going up to the Gold Coast. Football might be second or third on their to-do list up here. So there could be a chance that the Titans have, like I said, they want to avoid the wooden spoon. They get right up for this, and they'll need some of their big guns to play, and they'll need Keanu Keeney to shine. So if you're going all in on that play and getting him in, I actually really like this trade.
Oh, mate, Desi's last game. I don't want to finish on I want to try and limit as much as I can finishing on the bottom of the ladder. Keeney's a stud. He's an absolute stud. We all wanted to start with him at the start of the year in fullback. We're all probably going to do that next year because he's going to be so cheap. Yeah, get around him. I think he's a gun. I hope he doesn't score well just because I don't want extra points. I want every dollar I can save off him for next year. But, love it.
Sammy Walker's next. And again, it's another player that I really, really like. Obviously, the Rabbitohs haven't been able to name a couple of their big bigs like Latrell, who we anticipated that would have brought this match probably a little bit closer than it still appears on paper at least. So Walker, we know attack-wise, he has been absolutely unreal for the Roosters since coming back. So another player that I absolutely love. Interesting to see who they're trading out to get him because obviously Cleary's got a good matchup. Probably Nico, you'd say, doesn't have the best one against the Dogs. Dogs can aim up defensively, so that might be a way. But yeah, interesting that side of things. But I actually really like this trade as well.
Drinkwater.
Oh yeah, flex. There you go, the old flexy boy.
He's going through the flex. Top 10%. It's Drinkwater. Yeah,
I like it. Herbie is got 10 people interested so far. They've gone very early on him. Obviously, just keep an eye on things, guys. I don't think I have to say that too many times. I think everyone out there will assume that. Obviously, make sure you have someone picked out on the Saturday games or at least another Sunday game that you can go to from Herbie, which is pretty easy. He's 840K, but just someone that you think will score decently.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's playing, pick him. He's Herbie Farnworth. He's the junkyard dog, absolute king of junkyard points. He'll find a way, particularly in a depleted Raiders team, in a game that they need to make finals. So let's hope that actually happens, just for the sake of the weekend being a good weekend of footy. Yeah, get him in. Seriously, finish the year with him if he's playing.
Man, I'm so jealous about some of these players. I would love to be sitting here with like 2 trades at the moment going, I can't wait to do these. So,
Yeah.
I've been so jealous for the last 4 or 5 weeks now, watching everything, talking about all this stuff, and just being able to sit there with my hands in my pocket going, awesome. This is an awesome option this week, and doing nothing. So the last 3, Tedesco, McLean, and Mark Nwangani Tuasi. So all 3, I think, are really solid options once again. Like Trav said, like the centre wing at the moment, it's getting very bare. So players like McLean on a good, juicy matchup, don't mind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Same as Mark, even 4 tries and a half. Has a great matchup. If you can put 4 on the Storm, what can he do against the Rabbitohs? That's a great trade in. Tedesco's obviously just Tedesco. You're getting him for the cheapest, pretty much the cheapest for the year, and he's a very good VC option. Very good VC option, everyone. And who was the other one? Casey McLean. Yeah, like he's been pretty good. I actually think he's been really good. Not so much Supercoach wise, but in terms of elite. But I think he's turning into an elite centre winger. The form that he's been this second half of the year, he's been fantastic. To round it out for the top 10%, Turbo's number 1, traded in. Edwards number 2. Mark's actually 3rd. Trey Fuller's 4th. Taylor May's 5th. Teddy's 6th. Herbie's 7th. Reece Walsh 8th. Sammy Walker 9th, Casey McLean 10th. That's the top 10%. Every one of them, the top 5 has been traded in 80 plus. So it's there's a few people that have some trades and making some moves, which is huge. Reece Walsh is 957K, man. Did you know that?
No, I did not. Wow, what's his break even? Is there a chance he can crack the mill?
Oh, his break even's 25. He'd need to earn a fair bit. He'd need to push 100. If he gets 100, I think if he gets 100, it's projected as 59K. So he'll break a mil if he gets 100.
He'll be the only one that gets to a mil, won't? Like he'll be the only player that ends the year on a mil.
Did he? Teddy didn't get there.
Like right now, he'll be the only player that ends the year if he can do that on a mil. Which, if you told me at the start of the year, name a player who will finish on a mil, he would probably be one of the last ones, because we've all been very famous for saying Reece Walsh is a yo-yo. Normally it's sort of mid-year and that he'll have these runs. To have it at the end of the year and to be potentially finishing on $1 million, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely it is. He's a freak. He's been a freak this last 5 games, and this is all the Reece Walsh that we love.
Watch everyone climb to him next year. Oh, no, it's worth the cash. I'm going to do it. He'll start 20, 30, 20, 40, go from there. So, all right, let's go to our plans and our team and how it's all shaping up, because let's sort of do a bit of story time. We're obviously both chasing Jesse. Shout out to him. He'll be listening, trying to get every bit of insider goss he can on us to make sure he covers his ass against us, because that's what we're playing for right now. I know me personally, I don't care about anything else, and I've already lost this as well. So I'm just going to be going all out as much as I can. Now, I have technically 17. One of those players is Royce Hunt. Another one is Charlie Keimer. So it's not looking too great for me at the moment. I normally have 3 fullbacks as well. I only have 2 this week because no Drinkwater. I just don't have trades to get rid of him. So it's all looking a little bit how you going for me. And I've got Riley Smith as my hooker as well. So I'm not sitting in a great spot. Obviously, I'll look at some captaincy options in that in a minute. But my sit v starts, there's no point going through that because I'm just forced to play at the moment. Munster, Cleary. Obviously, I'll probably have to chuck the reserve on Royce Hunt as well, who will give me 16, but I'll be playing 1 short. That is for sure. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll let Trav go through his team now, and then I'll let you know my captaincy option. But take it away, Trav.
I've only got 15 playing. I'm hoping Herbie comes in. That gives me 16. And
Massive.
I'm not counting De Silva. I'm not counting De Silva.
Yeah,
So
here's my Royce
look,
Hunt.
he'll give me 17 then. And so, yeah, I'll have 17. I was really hoping Jed Stewart would get picked this week. I really wanted him to get picked. He's just sitting there on the bench. Unfortunately, the Storm have brought Hughes back. So that pushes Wishart to the 14. So unfortunately, I'm going to be playing Wishart, but off the bench. But he still could come in for the last 30 and push up a 40 or so, which is what Wishart does. So, I'll take that. But yeah, I am praying that Herbie plays, and that'll give me the 17.
What's your predicted at the moment?
1,200.
Projected.
1,264.
Oh wow, you're demolishing me. I'm 1,135. So it shows you how much of a struggle this is going to be. What are you thinking, captaincy and vice at the moment? We are, like I said, my plan, and I'll just say right now, I want to think outside the box of what Jesse's going to do, and I just need to ensure I go differently to obviously him and yourself. Obviously, I need to catch both. So whatever you go for, I will not be going because I need to chase. I need to make up. My thinking is I know I'm going to be lucky to probably crack 1,000 with all my other players, and I'm banking on my captain doing something stupid like we've seen over the last few weeks and getting me like a 350 combined as the captain, which is a huge expectation to put on my captain.
Yeah, I might just start with there's actually a lot of options this week. And whilst I'll quickly pull up the percentages for everyone in the top 1% that's currently sitting on the captains. Currently, Nathan Cleary is 45.9% captained. Under that is Nico Hines with 19%, and then in as the VC, Teddy is 36.6%, then Turbo at 14, Reece Walsh at 13, and Carraz, which probably still hasn't changed off from the weekend because everyone captained Carraz on the weekend, or vice captain Carraz, but he's at 10%. So then under that, Cleary's at 4.9. So they're the couple of big ones that are there, but there are some huge options. I think a VC on Walsh is a great play this weekend. I think he's shoot in to get at least 100. And I want anyone that's going to get 100 as a captain this week. I also really like Payne Haas against the Storm in this game. Everything's just going to go through him. He's just a beast. So I really like that matchup with that. I think Turbo is a really good VC option as well. I think Teddy is a fantastic VC option against the Rabbits. And then I think, depending on where you go, and if you haven't already got the VC, Cleary is a clear captain option against the Dragons. I also there's a lot of options, and I'm just trying to give everyone here that the gist of it. But and I'll put out my top 3 and my pod play. And if you've been following along with my pod plays, you'll be certainly in the green because they've been working out for me. But I really like JC against the Tigers this weekend too, in a big game. Campbell there. I'm not a fan of Hines against the Bulldogs. I won't be going anywhere near that game, to be honest, because I just don't know what the Bulldogs are going to bring. And either way, even if I don't know what they're going to bring offensively, I know damn well what they're going to bring defensively. So I'm not going to go anywhere near that Hines play. And then, yeah, I'm not super keen on any of the last 2 games as well. So I think your captain should be done by Saturday night, and you're just going in hoping the Dolphins are playing a proper game of footy.
What are you locking in?
Currently, I am locked in on VC Teddy, Captain Cleary. Unfortunately, I'm with the 45% of the Cleary owners, but yeah, that's currently what I'm on. But I'm just huge on that Teddy play, and when he's only 14%, that's still a pod captain option or VC for me. So I'm definitely going to sit around that.
I am going VC Mark Nwanganitawasi. And then I'm going to be very outside the box, I feel like, and I'm glad what Trav said before because it actually suits what I'm trying to aim for perfectly. I'm actually putting a captain on the last game of the round, Zach Lomax. So that's where I'm going at the moment to put on a bit of a clinic against a Knights team that literally just wants to be anywhere but a football field at the moment, it seems. So I'm going to hopefully see Zachy Lomax go through the air a couple of times and get a couple of tries, convert a number of tries as well. But at the moment, I'm going all my eggs. And if it doesn't succeed, it doesn't succeed. But I've got nothing to lose, going all out.
Fair call. Good luck to you.
Thank you. I definitely need it. So, Zachy Lomax, if you're listening, please, mate, actually contest the balls this time and just make sure you're there. So, I would really, really appreciate it. So, geez, I think that's it. I think Jesse will let the legends know, obviously, what he's doing. We've got absolutely no idea at this stage. But like I said, whatever he's doing, if he comes to me and says, hey, I'm going Zach Lomax captain, you bet you right now I won't be going Zach Lomax captain. So, it'll be something else. And I'm sure Trav, if Jesse has the same captains or something as well, he'll be trying to find a way to steer slightly differently as well. But that's it, Trav, isn't it? That's all we've got time for our regular season Supercoach shows. It's been a year.
It's been a massive year, eh? Yeah, been a massive year. It's been really fun. Things that I can go back and say, this is why I'm where I'm at and why I'm sitting there, and which we'll talk in the review. I was floating around the 10 to 20K for so long, got myself into the top 2K, and last couple of weeks, because I went hard early and had no trades left. The last couple of weeks have killed me, but it's been fun. I've learned a lot. We'll talk more about it in the review show, but thanks for everyone for listening. Send us some love. Send something in the comments. Tell us what you think. Any feedback? I'd love it.
100%. At this stage, I believe we're wanting to do a finals show. Obviously, that's pretty exciting at the moment. So we will obviously just lock everything in, keep an eye on socials over the next couple of days to know what our plan is for that. But at this stage, both of the boys we're keen to lock something in for that. It looks like a bit of fun. It'll be a shortened version of the show. We'll probably just come on and just say what our team's going to be each week, why, and see you later, that sort of stuff. But we'll be giving you guys something. But like Trav sort of said, let us know in the comments. Those that have stuck around all year, we really do appreciate it. Smash that like and subscribe button. We'll be doing plenty of stuff in the off season as well. Obviously rearing up to do the preseason stuff, which goes off as well. So very keen to always get into that now. Big deep dives, which everyone has loved now over the last couple of years. So that'll be bigger and better once again. But I'll just echo what Travis said. Thank you, everyone, so much for supporting the Supercoach side of the page. Come along tomorrow night, have your say on our very last Wednesday night live show as well. That'll be moving to the Sunday night for the finals time. It just suits a little bit better. But yeah, thank you very, very much. We'll have a number of Supercoach shows to come. But for the regular season, goodbye for now. We will see you next week.
Give me a sec. Yes. Hey, if you're an NBA fan, message the page and we'll get you in a couple of our fantasy leagues. It's just about to open up in a month's time. And NFL, stay tuned because we've opened up. We've got a 20-man league, 2 20-man leagues in a draft competition in Supercoach through the NFL. So with all the people that are in our draft comps for NRL. So that'll be, stay tuned to that. But yeah, messages if you're an NBA fan.
Let Trav know, not me, because I have absolutely no idea about any of that. It's like talking Chinese to me. So I will not be participating. That's my off season to veg out a little bit and just deep dive into NRL stuff. But one final one, obviously Sava Sports. Thank you very much for all the sponsorship as well for all our apparel stuff. So hoodies, we're starting to warm up again up here on the sunny Queensland weather. The hats, the shirts, you name it. We have got it. So message the page if you are interested in getting any of that stuff. But we will speak to you very, very soon. Goodbye. Thank you once again and see you tomorrow night.